The K-pop fandom seems to be becoming increasingly negative and hostile, to the point that it has become disturbing. Recently, reports revealed that Korean fans have been sending funeral wreaths to protest idols like RIIZE's Seunghan and BTS Yoongi over their controversies, which is quite unsettling. Undoubtedly, Seunghan's situation is the biggest controversy in K-pop right now, dating all the way back to 2023. After pictures of him kissing a girl and smoking were leaked online and went viral, SM Entertainment halted Seunghan's activities, and he went on a hiatus just 2 months after their debut. Because of South Korea's conservative society, the pictures were deemed too inappropriate for a K-pop idol. Fans condemned his actions and demanded his immediate removal from the group. In response, there were petitions with thousands of signatures in support of Seunghan, but they were seemingly of no use. Fans obviously wondered what was going on as many rumors about his whereabouts emerged. Some speculations hinted at a possible end of his career in the entertainment industry, as he was allegedly spotted attending a Korean cram school, an establishment frequented by students who prepare for college exams. However, it was never confirmed why he was there or whether that was him in the first place. Finally, after 10 months of confusion, anger, and desperation, on October 11th, SM announced to the fandom that Seunghan would return back to his activities and join the group on their promotions. In the official announcement, Wizard Productions, a sub-label managing RIIZE, spoke about how Seunghan has learned from his past mistakes and is now planning to get back to his activities the following month. Upon hearing the news, their fans took to social media to share their excitement. Many of them were happy to hear about his return, especially since they believed that he had done nothing wrong in the first place. Some netizens also deemed Seunghan's return a significant point in the K-pop community and as a sign that SM didn't give in to toxic fan culture. Not everyone felt the same positive emotions, though. SM staff members allegedly called out international fans for their response to Seunghan's return. In the post, an anonymous netizen shared the employees' not-so-positive reactions, which ranged from mild complaints to insults towards Seunghan. Some of them called it a ploy to attract international fans, even stating that all the company employees were against the decision to bring him back. They also complained about international fans, claiming they don't contribute financially and arguing that the company should pay more attention to Korean fans who are willing to spend their money. Fans of the group were also set on letting everyone know that they didn't want Seunghan to return, so to get the message across, they terrorized SM's building with over 1,000 funeral wreaths. The wreaths had various banners on them, with most demanding Seunghan's withdrawal from the company. Some people labeled him a freeloader, stating he was just taking advantage of the hard work of the other 6 members. The wreaths also contained white chrysanthemum flowers, which are very often used at funerals. You can see why people were so disturbed by this form of protest. It actually got to the point where the company delivering the wreaths ran out of space to put them and even issued a notice of closing down the order set to be delivered to the SM building. Even though it was shocking for people to send funeral wreaths to someone who was alive as a form of protest over something normal, SM eventually caved in. Just 2 days after the initial announcement, on October 13th, they posted an announcement that Seunghan was willingly leaving the group. To say many of their fans were completely shattered is an understatement. In the announcement, Wizard Productions confirmed they went through all of fans' reactions, which made everyone come to the decision that it would be best if Seunghan left. Understandably, many linked Seunghan's sudden departure to the ruthless protests that have happened since the announcement of his return. One netizen on Twitter wrote, "It's so hard to believe that these people are supposed normal citizens of a society." While some Korean netizens tried to reason that the wreaths were not sent to Seunghan directly, but rather to the company, their true intention was clear since they continued sending them even after he had left. Enraged by the entire situation, fans and netizens took to various online communities to discuss the way SM handled the entire situation. Some of them believed that the company should have dealt with Seunghan's withdrawal quietly and behind the scenes. The lack of sensitivity and clear communication is another thing netizens pointed out, claiming it did more harm than good. One netizen wrote, "This is a company that was founded 30 years ago, known as the Idol Powerhouse, but their management skills are worse than those of a company founded in 2024. Additionally, the company didn't do anything to stop fans from sending the wreaths or to defend Seunghan against the harassment he faced for a decision they had carefully considered for 10 months. Most companies would have taken legal action or contacted the police about the wreaths, but SM chose not to do anything, leaving Seunghan to handle the situation on his own before ultimately leaving the group." A former member of Day 6J also spoke up about the disgusting protests against Seunghan. In a tweet, he condemned the people who sent the flower wreaths and called them out to be the first ones who would be mourning online if, God forbid, any tragedy occurred. Jay also revealed that he's been on the same side and that he couldn't imagine the trauma this could cause to someone so young. There was another tweet made by him that sent chills down the fans' spines as he wrote, "Anyone involved in the flowers should be tried for attempted because that is what that was. Before Seunghan, BTS Suga was one of the first ones to know what it feels like to be sent funeral wreaths with his name on them. Suga was continuously bashed by the media and public for a DUI incident he had back in August of 2024. He was seen falling over on his electric scooter, and while this may not seem like a big deal to some, electric scooters are subjected to the same traffic regulations as cars. Because of this, he was escorted to a police station where it was found out that Suga was indeed drinking before getting on the scooter. Immediately, he became a target of criticism from netizens because of the very high fatality rate of electric scooters in traffic incidents. DUI scandals are not treated kindly by Korean netizens, and while it's incredibly dangerous to sit behind the wheel while intoxicated, the CCTV footage from a nearby building showed that Suga tipped over on his scooter and got back on his feet almost immediately. There also were very few nearby pedestrians that he could endanger, and he was driving his scooter very slowly. Even though he technically wasn't facing any serious criminal charges and had apologized twice for what happened, Korean netizens and fans were ruthless. In fact, they were doing anything in their might to show how badly disappointed and angered they were. Many wreaths were sent to sit in front of the HYBE meeting, and none of them displayed positive messages. Most of them demanded Suga withdraw from BTS and congratulated him for his imminent downfall. Instead of being disturbed by his behavior, netizens expressed their support for those who sent those flower displays, claiming that if Suga had any conscience, he would leave the group of his own will. While the wreaths were undoubtedly a horrifying scene to look at, they led to Suga's erasure from group pictures or his face being pixelated during broadcasts. There was also the possibility that he would be banned from the KBS channel, as they strictly regulate the appearances of individuals who were involved in illegal activities or social controversies. The investigation concluded with Suga being issued a fine of around $11,000 after he collaborated with the police and admitted to all charges. A lot of BTS fans who defended him online against malicious netizens hoped that this would be the end of it. And while some of them tried to forget about the incident, some Korean netizens definitely didn't. Since October 20th, 2 months after the incident, a new load of funeral wreaths has been sitting in front of the HYBE building, once again condemning Suga for what happened and calling out for his withdrawal from the group. After several hours, the flower displays were removed, with fans reporting that they would be placed again over the next few days due to protest permits. Some fans even wondered if someone with money was behind the whole wreath situation, as they personally thought an accident on an electric scooter didn't warrant this much hatred. It's even worse that these wreaths are being guarded by the police so they can't be destroyed, further enabling these people to continue with their horrifying actions. While protests are legal in Korea, sending a funeral wreath to a living person is actually illegal. According to Article 283 of South Korean law, sending a funeral wreath is considered an act of intimidation, and those who participate in it or ignore it can be sentenced to up to 3 years of imprisonment, detention, or a fine. This not only includes the people who organized this so-called protest, but the police as well, as they are complicit in the crime. Using them to intimidate a person shouldn't even be considered a means of protest and should be taken as actual threats against someone's life. Because this happened a few days after Seunghan was sent similar displays, some fans circled back to his situation and called out SM for allegedly encouraging similar protests. After all, they had given other people the impression that if they're persistent enough, they can get whatever they desire. So many of them also bashed the company for enabling and justifying fans to get away with this kind of behavior. Given the potential effects of these wreaths on idols' mental health, it's crucial for companies and the legal system to intervene and prevent this extreme form of protest from escalating further. Most importantly, companies need to reflect on their lenience and negligence, which have contributed to the extremism of fan behavior. We sincerely hope that this situation will not repeat again and that it will finally lead to some necessary changes.